Hello and welcome to this bonus training on the currency exchange. In this video we're going to show you how to determine what your currency is and give you some insights on how you can use that for your business and your marketing. If you are an estate agent, then you are possibly in a little bit of a difficult position because you're unlikely to be able to use all of the best forms of currency. While some property professionals are going to be able to use the easiest currencies to sell, as an estate agent, it's possibly more likely you're going to be a little bit further down the temperature gauge. You'll be in the sort of the medium area of ease to position yourself. And you'll see what I mean on that when you actually download your guide. So what you're going to actually find is that things like certainty are going to be potentially your currency. It may be to do with speed, saving time. It could be choices of strategies, but the ones that sell the easiest and are the most easiest to position are certainly in terms of business are going to be things like revenue and increasing number of clients, profit, ROI, things like that. Those are all very easy to sell and very easy to position yourself. So it's possibly one of the reasons why estate agents, high street estate agents in particular, are having to work a bit more at selling their services to people, because a lot of people will think, all an estate agent does is just takes a photo of the front of the house, sticks it in the window and wait for people to come past and have a look at it. Now, we all know that's not the case and there's much more to it than that. However, if there's that sort of perception with certain groups of people, and particularly now you've got the millennials coming up and able to leverage social media on their own. I mean, why do they need you, an estate agent, to stick their property on Facebook? They could do that themselves. So what is your value? What is your currency? What are you exchanging with them? Why are you worth 1.5%, 2% fee for selling a house, or getting people help with whatever service it is you might be offering? You have to position that in a better way to get people to understand your value to them. And so it goes into more, it's not just a case of, whereas with the normal easy to sell things of saying I can get you more customers, or I can get you higher return on investment, or I can get you more revenue, that doesn't really apply to sales and marketing of a house, whether it be buying, selling, renting, or for investments. Now, actually on investments, if you are dealing with investors, you can use some of those easier to sell currencies. So the ROI, the number of clients, the turnover, leads, those can be used when you're talking about helping people that want to invest. But for the average person that's looking to buy a home, whether it's a first-time buyer, whether they're moving areas, upgrading their property, upsizing, downsizing, whatever it might be, you've got to have more. And so, things like having confidence in you as an agent, that what all the procedures are and they're not going to get tripped up by any legalese anywhere, or it may be that you're particularly good at doing things very fast. Maybe you've got a really good team of surveyors, and you can do land registry searches and things really quickly. You've got some excellent legal team on hand, and you can push things through at a much higher rate. Now if that's you, certainty, speed, assurance, they're all going to be things that you can definitely leverage to get people on your side and understand your value to them in helping them with whatever service it is you provide. If you're going to have people paying you large sums of money, which a lot of agents do, you really do need to have them understand what it is you're bringing to the party. So when you are identifying your currency, like I say, whether it's your expertise, experience, whether it's saving time, just the confidence in being able to make sure that the house is bought or sold in a timely fashion, whatever your different products and strategies are, they're all types of currency that you can leverage to help people understand your value. Now, there is another currency, and that sort of gets into the point of guarantees, and that's more into the certainty. I would be careful with guarantees, because obviously I don't need to tell you that could get you potentially into hot water, bad reviews, and all the rest of it. But for the others, they are some things. If you're leveraging your experience, then that's something that certainly you can help by putting out very valuable, very helpful content, cheat sheets, downloads, training videos, whatever it might be. Just putting yourself out there as an expert can definitely give people the confidence and the trust that you're going to be able to deliver on what you say you can. Identifying all of your currencies and using them as secondary currencies is obviously a good idea as well, because it may be that certain people will want different things. And so while some people might want the expertise, they know nothing about buying or selling a property, particularly if they're a first-time buyer, if they're a first-time investor, if they're buying a house in an area that they don't know. Your expertise, your experience, they could be different things that they might look for that kind of reassurance. And so speed may not be an issue. Having searches done in a very short amount of time may not be an issue for them. They just want to know that everything's going to be done properly, and they're not going to get into any potential pitfalls by not doing something. So putting all of your currencies out there, everything that you've got, means that you'll capture different people at different points in their journey. You'll hook people and catch their attention with the right information, potentially at the right time, as long as you've put it all out there. So that's definitely something that you shouldn't just be looking for one primary currency. It should be looking at all the currencies you've got available and then figuring out how you can work them into your marketing. So that really fits in with the goal of the currency and fitting it with what exactly they are looking for. The currency that you use the most needs to be in line with the largest amount of your customers. That's the one that's going to get you the best response. So just have a think about that. Once you've listed out your currencies, what they are, just think about what it is what kind of reassurances people are looking for when they talk to you. If there's questions that they should be asking that they haven't been, demonstrate your expertise in that kind of a way. There's lots of different ways to show your value without having to necessarily hang a price tag on it. So that's just something to think about. Now, as I already mentioned, your expertise is a currency. So if you've got a lot of training, if you've trained in specialist areas, maybe you've gone to a higher level than most people would in your field, then that's a currency. You've got that extra level of training. There's that extra level of trust that you really know what you're talking about, and that things aren't going to go wrong. So expertise is a really great way of leveraging as a currency if you've got those letters to your name, so to speak. Also, if you've been doing it a long time, your experience, don't forget to leverage that. And the other thing, moving on from that, if you've got a team, so if you've built up an agency that has multiple agents within it and they've each got their own areas of expertise, then that is something that, again, you want to leverage the team side of your business. So if you're talking about investments and people want to, maybe they're into HMOs or something, and you've got somebody that deals with HMOs, but they talk about, oh, we've also been looking into commercial. You say, oh, well, Bob over here is our whiz on commercial. He's just doing 2 or 3 commercial conversions. He's helping people with buying sites. He's doing this, he's doing that. All of those things is, having the people to cover the different areas is a currency, because that each person that you add to your team is going to add an extra level of expertise, an extra level of experience. It's also going to add an extra level of assurance in that, if one person's not about, they can talk to somebody else. If you're just an independent acting on your own, you can't give that level of insurance. But if you've got a team, then you should definitely leverage that and use that as a currency. And essentially, if you were to build out, so literally if you build out like a little sort of carousel, a little wheel of your currencies, and you just had that to your side as you were creating your content. So when you're next doing your next piece of writing, maybe you're doing something on social media, writing a post, whatever it might be, having that little carousel just somewhere in your eye line, just to remind you that you want to use your currencies within your marketing, would actually be quite a good thing to do, because then you're going to be aware of it, you're going to remember to use it. So that's pretty much what the currencies are. You'll see what all of the currencies are. We've split them up into 4 different sections, and sort of easy, medium and hard to sell on the cheat sheet that you're downloading. But there's also things like the value of your currency is not just about the price tag you hang on it, it's also the utility and the usefulness, and how meaningful it is, as we've already mentioned, to the person, so matching up with exactly what they're looking for. And a currency also has to have a measurable part to it, so whether that's in a time frame, if it's faster or with less friction, if you do more for them, or if you're simplifying a process, then all of these things essentially build up on your value. And there are things that you can mention within your marketing, within your content, your posts, as you're going through talking about certain areas in your agency, the services that you provide, such that people can really get a sense of the value that you bring, why it's important that they use you as an agent to do whatever service it is that you provide. So I hope that gives you a bit more sort of an insight, of an overview of why having a currency is important. And like I say, once you get your guides, you can have a look. They're split up into business, health, wealth and relationships, and like I say, going from easy to sell to hard to sell. When you find your particular currencies, just make a note of them, write them down, so that you can remember to use them within your message. Now, if you do use your currencies in your marketing, what you should find is that actually the transition from getting people to use you, from potentially being a cold prospect. So if they don't know you very well, they come across some of your content and you've used those currencies within your message, what you should find is there's less resistance, less explaining to do when it comes to the point of actually getting them to take you on as their agent, or whatever your service is that you're providing, because you've already imparted the value of your service, not in an in-your-face way, but just in a way that they can now see that actually without your help, this is going to be harder, this is going to be slower, this is going to be less clear. There's potential pitfalls that maybe I didn't know about that you're going to help me avoid. And so ultimately, that is the power of knowing what your currency is and applying it to your marketing. So in terms of where currency fits into the grand scheme, if we come and take a look at our roadmap, you can actually see that the currency is in step 2. So after you've done your audit review and set your goals, then you're going to look at your currency before you start looking at your message and your content. And so as you work your way along the roadmap, you're going to build out more and more of the system that enables you to get organic leads. And part of getting leads organically, particularly when you get up to steps 8 and 9 and you're reviewing your content, validating it, make sure everything's good, and then being sure that you over deliver. And then actually the final step 9 of really automating and retargeting and making sure that your leads are coming in on autopilot. Having done these foundational steps of doing the audit review goals, currency, message, content, is really going to put you in a good position for making sure that all of those things works and you actually do get an evergreen content lead generating machine, and that will ultimately set you up for success for your business, for your service in the long run. So that's where determining your currency sits within our roadmap. Now, if you wanted to find out more about that, you are free to do so by getting in touch with us. If you just get in touch via Messenger, you can do that directly to myself through our page on Facebook, and just message free call. We can start up a chat, and we'll see if you're potentially a good fit for our one-to-one coaching system, where not only will we coach you through this roadmap of building out a lead generating machine for your business that generates organic leads on autopilot, we'll also be providing done for you services as well, but find out more about that on the call. As ever, please like our video, please leave a comment if you've got any questions, and if you want more content like this, then please click on the subscribe button. We'll be making many more videos, training videos like this over time, and if you want to get a notification, then obviously clicking that bell will notify you if we go live, which we do, or if we post our latest training videos. So that's it for now. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, send us a message, free call if you want to know more about the Local Celebrity Leads Mastery coaching program. And that's it for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.